Hello, everyone. 12 o'clock on Thursday afternoon. I'm back for Jewelry Talk. Let's see who's here. Yay! Okay, hi, Adrian. Thank you so much for always being here first. You never know, right, guys? Alderwood, nice to see you. Excellent. Nice to see you guys. Good morning. Good morning. Sandra. Oh my gosh. Jan, nice to see you. Oh my gosh, you guys, good afternoon. 12 o'clock noon here. I think it's early in the morning here. I'll give you guys just a little shot here of what life is all about and what Jewelry Talk is all about. New pieces. Oh my gosh, I have been in my studio endlessly. How about you guys? Yay, hi Fran, nice to see you. Oh my gosh, you guys. Good morning, Cecilia. I always think of that song, Cecilia, when I see your name. You know that song. I'm not gonna sing it for you. But I do love that song. Yay, Christina's here. Oh, good morning, gorgeous. Same, back at you, girl, back at you. Did you guys ever notice that the more you love someone as a friend or as a person or as the more like you just think they're more and more beautiful. So I have a saying that I say, hi Kathy, I have a saying that I'm like, oh my gosh, did you get more beautiful or do I just love you more? You know, your heart grows every day looking at people. So it's just interesting. Christina and I have been working really hard. Hey, you're from Canada. Nice to see you. You're probably on my time zone too. Welcome, welcome from Canada. Nice. You guys are nice and protected over there. And here Jean's here. Thank you, Jean. Jean even contacted me. She was like, are you going to be on Jewelry Talk? So, you know what? Today, as I was really thinking about, I usually do my yoga Thursday morning. I do my breathing, my clearing, and I think about what do I need to show up and talk about, you know? And I actually have set up in the background my latest piece that I've done that actually will be, I worked hard and did pieces in modeling, you know, with the model. Oh my God, it turned out gorgeous. Christina and I, hi from Arkansas. Nice to see you, Julie. Thank you for joining. Oh my gosh, Upper Peninsula of Michigan, you got it cold like us, right? We had a nice storm, really. Canada, Michigan, Arkansas, you don't know what we're talking about, but we get this really great kind of, insular kind of space where we can get in our studios and really get a lot of work done. I can tell you guys, I have been in my studio for probably, oh my gosh, probably for the whole month of January straight, in my studio getting so much done, getting, you know, so many new ideas out. And luckily I'm going to be able to have my sale on the 8th of February because I actually have a lot of things, you know, some of my things that I've been working with, some of my old ideas with cold joins and my pencils. So, you know, just really fun with that. So, you know, I think toasty inside. Oh, 9 degrees today. Oh, that's making me cold. I feel good because I'm just like 5 minutes away from my house. So I kind of shuttle back and forth. My car likes it, all that kind of stuff. So yay. Oh, San Francisco. Oh, I love San Francisco. You know, even when I was younger, I've always loved adornment so much. Adornment has always been so much part of my life. And I went through San Francisco when I was 15 for the first time. And then I ended up moving to San Diego for 7 years. But when the first time I went to San Francisco, I was like, this is me. This is my place. And I ended up moving to San Diego. But for me, it's like adornment, you know, and me thinking about adornment and what I like to wear every day. It's San Francisco weather is that kind of, you can put on these nice little jackets, handbag leathers, nice jewelry. You can get away with all this. When you start getting into hot tropical weather, you know, you want to keep things a little lighter. In the winter here, I can, you know, really wear a lot of my jewelry. I wear a lot of my rings, but, you know, you could be in places where the metal makes your hands cold, right? Hi, Kim. Nice to see you guys. Oh my gosh. So today on my subject that actually popped in my head, because you guys know, oh, good morning. Hi there. Oh my gosh. Okay, good. Nice to see you guys. Thanks for joining. So, you know, in thinking this morning, I don't know are you guys able to get in your studio? It's like this came up for me the other day that I wanted to bring to our attention again. It's this idea of staying in the moment. Do you guys know, it's like staying in the moment is such a profound statement. That's all you need to know in this lifetime is, oh my gosh, you went to Revere Academy. How amazing is that? How disappointing that he ended up closing down and no one took over, right? Wow, good for you. So the real technical background. Actually, he has, so Revere Academy is a, if you really like the left brain, it's about repairs. It's about really getting into the goldsmithing and building diamond rings and things like that. He has a really good book that I just downloaded on my Kindle that I thought is really noteworthy. I'll pull it up for you guys, but if you know, you might actually know that. His book is out there. You can get it as an e-copy, and it really is just beautiful, beautiful techniques that are in there that are hardcore. He's a wonderful man. You have to be such a perfectionist to love that too, right? So that's good. So thank you for joining us too. So for me, I'm the opposite of that. I love reading all this left brain, real technical. The reason I decided that as of yet, I'm not working with gold because I actually get in and I do so much exploratory work, and so much performance work. So I really am a jeweler, but I'm studied as an artist. I'm about performance art. I have the piece on there today. I just showed a little behind the scenes of, really dancing, your work in progress of movement and all of that. So I did a photo shoot this past weekend and it was really beautiful. I have some beautiful shots coming up on my Instagram too. Hi, you guys. Thanks for joining. But, for me, it's like I build pieces really from the costume industry, from my studies are from ethnographic industry. It's so really, I feel like right now, this year of being quiet with COVID, and I haven't been traveling to teach, I really kind of took this time and went back into my core. And maybe I want to remind you guys, or I know some people are, with intentional metalsmithing, I'm always talking about getting into your authenticity, getting back to your core. And I have been working right alongside you guys doing the same process. That's why it is more authentic, because when I'm working on it myself, I can give you hand in hand what I'm doing. There's Matt that's on here. Nice to see you, Matt. So for me, it's like when I was in my 20s, I studied art. I traveled all around and I saw performance costumes, performance adornment. Really, it's like I stayed in a Karen tribe when I was up in the late 80s, when I was up in Thailand, and I saw there was one woman left in the village that literally had her neck stretched when she was very, very young. When you get, when you have these type of, we get tattoos, we get our ears pierced, we get, there's people putting, different things in your heads. It's like we're making statements, we're creating ourselves, we're expressing ourselves as people and who we are. And the same thing then, when you stretch your neck like this, you're saying you are above hanging over your kitchen sink scrubbing pots. In China, when you had your feet bound into lotus, from when you're a baby, you're actually saying you don't have to walk around and be practical. If you're moving your body where you don't have to be practical, you're describing yourself as upper class. You don't scrub dishes. You don't have to walk and go pick items up for people. This is you. This is who you are. So, we're all building ourselves in this way, which is the intentional part of metalsmithing, which is why exactly I want to be wearing my prayer boxes and wearing all my stuff. So I'm getting back into my work I did in my 20s, which was all about really some of this ethnographic work that I've studied. I have been in the middle of nowhere in Thailand and had to stay in a barn and in a wat. Well, as a woman, you're not really invited to stay. It's interesting. I love everything about Thailand and Buddhism. As a woman, you're kind of a little bit out of luck because you really can't mix in there with the guys. I was just there recently, and a woman cannot touch a monk. So he would hand things to us in a basket. You kind of feel a little bit like, I'm going to get you. But anyway, respecting, of course, all cultures. But so for me, it's like, getting back into, so I have been around like fires at night in the casual with no cameras on, back in the 80s. And, people dancing around the fires, wearing costumes, wearing your pieces. I had the opportunity to see how to build pieces for movement, how to build pieces for sound. This actually contributes to the music playing. All of this is all built in a way that's important. This piece, you can hear it's like a deep chime. This one hits your lower chakras. This one is all in the reds and the oranges and yellows. And this gives me a different sound. So, in thinking about sound, when I first, years ago, when I talked about building a company, building a dormant, I wanted to be able to hit all 5 senses. I didn't know how sound was going to be a part of it, but here's sound. Does that make sense? Oh, thank you. For me, it's like bringing in all of this roots, all of this history that I studied. So it really is about the sounds, the movement, this makes me feel good. This probably hits a chakra that makes me feel good. So the subject is really, so you guys know, I actually recorded, I'm doing some technical skills in recording, but I do have open my alchemy of soldering. If anyone has not taken the course, I'm on there live on alchemy of soldering. I put these stacker rings on there yesterday, just really, and then next week it'll expand even more on really showing using gems, stackers, just kind of that perfection of getting 2 ends butted up together, just the details. But all of this is in alchemy of soldering. If you guys are new here, hi guys. Jewelry is music to my ears, right? So on Jewelry Talk, I want to kind of just reserve this time just to talk about, to interact, sounds in earrings. Oh my gosh, I know. Here's I had a chance to write about this particular shape. I'm always talking to you guys about shapes, and I had a chance to write to you guys about this shape. This is a shape that feels beautiful for me. This is how I stretch. This is how I push, or how I actually have my how I have light flow through me when I'm doing my yoga. Thursday mornings I do my yoga, so I actually wanted to make sure this naturally comes out of me as my shape that I'm building. And I love seeing all the shapes that you guys have building. Everyone is different, these type of shapes here is all my yoga breath, outstretched arms, air coming in and just clearing out. And it's interesting to me because I've been really busy writing, and in the morning I find if I don't get to my yoga, I could get on my computer and sit and write. I have to jump in my yoga right away because I don't know what my day is going to turn into. So there was to join the 2-week live. Yes, come in and join the 2-week live. There, Christina put that up for you guys if anyone wants to join. It's 2 weeks live in the Alchemy of Soldering. There's some pretty cool stuff coming up, and I'm in there on Friday, and I'm going to be just talking about tools on Friday, answering questions. I know people, I have like a wide open time of 30 minutes, and I can talk about any tool. The last time we had so many questions that I had to cut it short. So, that's when I'll talk about tools for tomorrow, and I'll talk about, any questions that people have. So today I thought instead of doing tools, I'm just going to talk to you guys really about the other side, the intentional part of intentional metalsmithing. And it really is about staying in the moment. Do you guys know that? I remember when I was in my 20s, one of the hardest things for me to do as a person and as an artist was to stay in the moment. If you can stay in the moment, your life is beautiful, right guys? I remember when I started snowboarding. And you had to stay in the moment, focused. It was one of the, and I continued snowboarding for 15 years. There isn't a lot of people my age snowboarding, so I was always with the young, the 20-year-olds, but now I'm like, I might start skiing just to be with people my own age, But the thing I loved about snowboarding is that it required 100% of my focus to get inside of myself and focus. And at the end of the day, from being inside your body, learning and focusing, you find that's the time that you really reach reach the place that you want to be. This is what we're all looking for as artists. And it's a simple statement as be in the moment or be here now. Like you hear those statements, be here now, be in the moments. But they're so important, and sometimes I forget. It's so easy to forget being in the moment. So when you're in intentional metalsmithing, it's a lot of fun to come into my space to do this clearing. I have for you guys, Christina asked me again, and I probably will have it very soon. I don't know when she's going to post it, but I'm doing a recorded version of just how I get in and just clear very, very quickly. When I did my workshop in Mexico, I found it really successful because I cleared people and myself at the beginning of the workshop, just kind of clearing any extra energy around you, inside of you, sealing it in. And we just had flow that day in the classroom, and it makes it easy to be in the moment, to be at your work, to build exactly what you want to build, things that are your shapes and are going to make you happy, and that's when you're creating. No matter where you go, there you are. Oh my God, that is such a great, and don't let your mind wander. Yeah, but if you tell yourself, don't go there. One thing I realized, now this is interesting, because if your mind does wander, be okay with it, let it go. Like that's what you're breathing out, is all this extra. And it might take you a while to get there. But if it goes, the worst thing you want to do is, what are you doing? Get back here, get in line, because if you start treating yourself that things aren't okay, then it's not going to be okay. It's so subtle. It's interesting. I'm really paying attention and watching these little tiny subtle nuances that make a difference in building my work, in being happy or centered in my studio building. And thank you for saying that about no matter where you go, there you are. When I was 19, I had 2 years of college, moved to California, and I thought, I'm going to get away from all these problems, and there they were, And then I thought, oh my gosh, maybe, I went from job to job. I did a year of internships. I worked for interior designers. I worked for stylists, actually food stylists. I worked for, a number of different things. At Forest Service, I did 2 years. A number of really interesting things. And some of them were in sales where I made a lot of money. And I was like, maybe this will make me happy. And then I found when I was making a lot of money but didn't like my job, that I needed, after work was done, I needed to go out and spend a lot of money to find something to make me happy, And, snowboarding down the hill with oh my God, guess, well, I'll finish this story and then I have to add something to that. Okay, so then, in, different jobs, when I found a job, I did visual display for a couple of years for Nordstrom. And when I did visual display, I loved it. It was just kind of the same way collage is done, the same way I feel like that you can look at a website and kind of know where you want things. It's like you're looking at spatial things when I did visual display in the home area. I didn't do fashion. I usually am not a fashionable person. As much as I am in fashion, I'm always like, how'd I end up in fashion again, I consider myself the most unfashionable person, actually, because I just put my hair what color I want. I don't follow trends. But anyway, so interesting, because I would love to be snowboarding. When I was snowboarding, I had this hat that had all rastas that was woven for me, all rastas coming down. So I would put my hat on, get out on the slopes, and I'd have these long wool rastas that were all over. So it's pretty cool. I had a high-paying job, but miserable situation. The money isn't everything. Absolutely. So that's exactly what you owe to yourself. It's like the money isn't everything. And it's interesting because I found that time and time again. I am really happy with my work that I'm doing right now, that I go home and, I go out, or I'll go out with my friends, or I'll go out, but my life is enough. I'm happy being in the moment. So, learning the hard way, I realized that truly, being in the moment is the best place that you can be. So, I'm recording an exercise for you guys that kind of helps clear you. So when you show up in your studio, I'm seeing everybody come into, a unique fashion statement. Thank you so much. It's like, yes, it definitely is unique. I was always amazed how I was so embraced by fashion, but of course, it makes sense to be embraced by fashion because they're always kind of looking for splashes. It's like as I'm staying in the moment and I'm like, what am I crazy? I'm doing this performance. I just did this modeling shoot that was fabulous. And I'm sending this, putting together my package and getting ready to get this 10-piece body of work into Milan. And I've got when I go to Milan in June, I actually have a stylist that was really excited about my work that's in London that does a lot of work. He's a photographer, he does a lot of work for British Vogue. So I'm like, why wouldn't I pop over there with all my things and, just meet him in person? That'd be fun. So it's like one step at a time. I'm learning. Aw, thank you. I'm learning just to take one step at a time, and enjoying my life is the most important. So if that makes sense to you guys, it's why we should not be threatened that there are so many jewelers coming into the picture, so many artists coming into the picture. Think about our world. I gave a tour that's recorded on Alchemy and Soldering. I gave a tour of my studio, and it's like when I walk into my studio is me. It's just me extended. So if people like me, they are comfortable being in my studio, and oh, thank you. Yes, the senses in your work. Thank you. I'm really, it's important for all the senses, for sound, for visual, for, so for me, it's like when I'm building, I make sure that I walk up and I'm clear. So when I come into my work, even because, always in our head, and tell me if you guys have this, in your head, when you go outside of your comfort zone, which is important, by the way, when you go outside of your comfort zone to build your authentic work, if you're not clear, your body's like, wait a minute, this is too scary. If something is scary, you're on the right track, and you owe it to yourself to build that. So if something is feeling scary, if you're clear and you're attentive, you're going to be attentive enough to think, oh, hey, this is scary, but I'm going to do it anyway. Who cares? Who's going to see it? You're going to maybe lose a little bit of money on silver, but you can always melt your silver down. I've been sick for the past few years. The plus side forced me to slow down and focus. Absolutely. I had no choice but to be in the moment. And I hope that makes sense. Oh, that really warms my heart because it really is true. Thank you so much. Yay. Good. Be out of your comfort zone, girl. Be out of your comfort zone. Kimmy is one of my good friends, and she came out to my workshops for a long time, and it really is, it's really interesting, and it's a journey. And, in intentional metalsmithing, the whole course, I always talk about just get in there and build all this work because it gets your blood flowing and your arms used to building work in this way. Could look exactly like mine. It could look exactly like your neighbors. We're getting into the place where everyone's have to breathe now and come up with their own ideas. And some people have all along, but for others to get out of that comfort zone. And there's a couple things. I meet with my students in February, and there's a couple things, to help. That now my exercises are to help people get out of the comfort zone. When I first started teaching at the Bean and Button Show many years ago, I'd have people for 6 hours, and crazy me, I worked on getting people out of their comfort zone in such a short period of time. It was a lot of work. Now I know it is really cool. Actually the trip to Morocco that we're doing, it's easy to get people out of your comfort zone because you're already flying out for a long time. You're out of your comfort zone. You're doing things different. You're looking at all different work. You're seeing all new things. You are so knocked out of your comfort zone, which is why I love these international trips. And then we get together for 4 or 5 days, and we get, sometimes I forget I'm not the same as I was. See? Oh my gosh. Yeah, so when you're so far knocked out of your comfort zone, it's you. Oh, yay, it is. So that's really what I do is I there's so many people that can offer this real traditional route better than I can. I'm an artist. I learned metalsmithing. I love gems. I love the properties of the gems. I found this whole piece here is built all with reds, oranges. To me, it's just my chakras, The sticks I did all red, oranges. The gems I used are all red, oranges. All of this in here I'm finding is just all these oranges, reds, and yellows. And in fact, I think a lot of people know me. My hair is orange. Why? Because I was in my sacral chakra for about a year, right? Guess what? It's going to be red soon because guess where I'm at? So I'm back in my ground. I actually started clearing this way down for some reason. It was a spontaneous clearing as I kind of moved into a different state of kind of just showing up. Oh, thank you so much. That was really a good one. Yeah. So it's really like, you're late. No worries. We're glad to see you. So, for me, it's like my colors and showing up. I've needed all of those. So I'm really grateful to be finally in this root chakra with the reds, even though took the longest to clear. Since I have been so busy, what I want to say earlier, that might even sound so crazy, but, I was so busy getting this performance film done, not me, but I'm, organizing it and getting things set up and getting people ready for this. And, so for me, I was it was harder for me to be in the moment for a couple weeks. Let's put it that way. I wasn't doing, I want to sit and write. It's so good when you can do exactly what your body wants you to do, right? But if you can't, that's part of life too. So I wasn't, for a couple weeks, I feel like maybe I wasn't living quite in the moment. And I found that my body started hurting in strange ways. It felt congested. And as soon as I started doing my yoga and getting in the moment again, I was realizing I clear out my chakras so much in my life that I feel like they were just congested. So this is something that you do on a regular basis, just clearing your chakras. For me, it's like my words that I do are inspiration. I wrote down my 5 words. I probably say them every time, but for me, it's my commitment in life. I've had a very long career in jewelry and in art. I'm in doing mentoring, with my intentional metalsmithing, my courses, and I also am building a new company. As people know, I started 3 years ago. It's always interesting how long things take, right, guys? It just takes a long time. So, every day moving towards it, staying in the moment and being okay and knowing that your life is still moving forward, even if you're in the moment. I used to panic because you're so happy and you're so clear in your moment. And when you are able to be in your moment, magical things will happen for you, and sometimes I get like, wait, I have to go back and plan everything again. It's that panic and trying to take control of directions exactly is what kind of throws you off balance. But you know what? I actually do my yoga online now because I like that I can just roll out of bed, drink my coffee, do my notes, get a little centered, get right into my yoga online. And because if I don't do it first, there's also, I saw there's even a chair yoga on there. I used to do hot yoga, but of course when I'm at home, I don't do hot yoga unless I wanted to turn it up to like 90 degrees in my condo, which I could, but yay, I know, it really helps you be in the moment. It's a thing that helps me be in the moment. It's these shapes. Like, look, here is this shape again. So for me, as I'm going into Milan Fashion Week, I'm really trying to stay true to my shapes and my materials, when I went last year, the materials that I use are non-traditional, and I get nervous before I go because my work is unusual for what work is being done for Milan. It's interesting. So been there, done that, but I'll try again. Oh, the online, I know, yeah. You know what? If it's not for you, it's not for you right now, but believe me, there'll be a time, that try to, one of the things that I ask for is to maybe find a way to be re-inspired somehow, or how to be in healthier shape, or, I actually hand it over before I go to sleep. I use my dreams in many ways to going to sleep at night, just to find out maybe what direction I need, how to get myself re-inspired, what I need to show up and say on Jewelry Talk when I show up, what I need to say to my students. I also can kind of, as women, we can be pretty intuitive. And, like with Christina and I, we try to stay in really good communication, especially with what's going on here. There's so many things. Last summer, I just walked all summer. I took my dog and walked up to the beach all summer long. I walked and walked and walked. So, for me, I felt in really good shape. I just cleared. Every time I saw a tree, I just did this artist breath that it's a yoga breath, but I'm actually considering it an artist breath because it helps me as an artist. So for me, when I'd see a nice tree, I would just stand there, breathe in, actually pull my carbon monoxide into the trees. The really cool thing about trees, I realized when I was in the Forest Service, trees, plants, all of that, is that they love our exhales. They love our carbon monoxide. They love our garbage. And we love their garbage. What they're exhaling, we're inhaling. What we're exhaling, they're inhaling. So, we work so well together. So they definitely, trees, plants, it's really ways to breathe in and breathe out through. So that's kind of, so for you guys, I want to remind you guys again, getting into your studio, I'm going to have that yoga breath up. I am going to, should I show you guys a couple pieces? Next Saturday, I have these are kind of, I'll show you guys this piece just because I love it. Well, these pieces I love. I decided to do more of these, but I do have some beautiful, beautiful all the way around gems coming in this time around. I feel like I'm in very symbolic. Isn't that true? Yeah. It's interesting. I'm actually find that finally, as I've reached my root chakra, so interestingly, I'm finding that I can do a whole restart in my life. So I'm actually getting my Shopify changed and redone for my voice. Not this time, but the next time. It'll be pretty. If you guys go on my Shopify when I open up for my store, you guys will get to see some of the modeling photos, maybe some of the performance on there, but I'm actually getting a new site that'll be prettier soon. So I'm finding I'm not pushing things, so I want to give this advice to you guys. 2 years ago, I would have loved to have pushed and shoved through and, set up the perfect. Okay, there, Christina, that's next Saturday. That's when my jewelry sale is. And, it's stepping forward. So it's like, when you're staying in the moment, it's like, even though I envision my Shopify looking, completely done with film on there, with movement, with all this, it took me until this time, or even a month from now, or 2 months, to be able to work towards my vision. It's interesting for me, as you're saying, when you were sick, you had this downtime. For me, COVID was this amazing time because I could be super social. Oh my gosh. To have this quiet time where I really am just getting into my studio every day, and being here and showing up and having a quiet life and just going home, lighting a fire, maybe having a glass of wine and, doing a little bit of reading or watching a little Netflix. I mean, it's just really fun, in a whole different way. For me, I was always like, okay, where are we going? What's going on? Doing the work you have taught us. Oh, I love that. You know what, Joanna? Maybe you don't need yoga. My sister, you find when you start growing, like really growing and expanding, your people, your family, they are right alongside of you. You actually grow as a group. Like, we are all here together for a reason. You guys are here, I'm here, there's a reason. Oh, yay, Deb, I know, and Deb's got some amazing work. Yes, getting in your studio every day, you need this little bit of community because it can be isolating. I mean, I have a nice community in my studio. I feel like on Thursday, it's so important for me because I love just communicating. Oh, that makes me so happy. See? That's exactly it. Because if you work from your authentic work, we're going to be able to be friends. We're not enemies. We're not competitors. We're here to help each other out. Yes, your tribe gives you a vibe. And also, so I want to say that my sister, she doesn't do yoga. She's not like a real active person, skinnier, way skinnier than I am, but she's an artist as well. And she finds she does the meditation and clears. She doesn't have to do. So if you're feeling already that way from meditation, to me, all yoga does is clear me enough to get into my meditation. So if you can jump into your meditation and you're feeling zen, no reason for it, This yoga breath, when we did this in Mexico and in a few of my other workshops, this artist breath, the yoga breath, it cleared us all. I wasn't doing any yoga there. It clears. You just need, for your mind to stop enough. And sometimes yoga does that for me. That's all. Be clear enough. Your tribe gives you a vibe. I like that. So it's time to be with yourself and creativity. So things are changing. Life is moving. It has been a blessing in a lot of ways with COVID. Be ready for summer, you guys. It's really interesting. I kind of feel like, we have, this is a statement actually that my therapist said to me. Yes, right. And my therapist actually, and one of my healers, he was like, look, Susan, you didn't do all this healing. You didn't do all this moving forward. You didn't do all this healing for nothing. Like you're not just going to heal and do all this energy that you put into your jewelry work and it's not going to go anywhere. There's no way it's not going to go anywhere. So be ready for summer. If you guys really have put in time, hello, Miss Susan, Mrs. Susan. I'm actually Ms. Susan now. So isn't that interesting? So I'll have to look you up and see who you are. La Three Artisans. Instagram names sometimes throw me off, like I know the person. But so when I was writing my book, Making Connections, I worked so hard. I dreamed this book. Like when I was talking earlier about getting into your dreams and, learning from your dreams and learning a lot. I'm actually doing these dream studies now where I'm recording dreams. And it's interesting some of the things that I'm finding out in my dreams are just living or being, So my book, Making Connections, I put in, oh my gosh, like a solid year of just focusing and like 3 years of looking around at cold joins in the world and looking at architecture and looking at the way things are joined, airplanes are joined, just different latches and hinges. And I actually moved architecture down into a book for jewelers, so into a smaller scale, which was really a lot of fun to do. I love challenges like that. But right before I published, it was a self-published book, and I had an editor, and I had Marlene Blessing, who worked for Interweave. Isn't that a great last name? Some people who really got to be readers and take a look at it for me. And right before, like maybe it was going to be published the next day, and I was like, man, I feel like I'm standing on the edge of a cliff, not knowing which way it's going to go. And then that's why I realized, again, if you're not scared, you didn't put your authentic self into it. If you're not scared when you're putting something out there, when you're showing up with your body of work, you're scared, when you show up for a show or for an event, because you're putting your real self out there and everybody's walking by, and you might have some people go, you call that art, or you call that jewelry, or you call that, and you have to be okay with yourself. And then that's when you use that artist breath or the yoga breath, and you breathe in, you breathe out, because it doesn't matter. Your people are here, your people are here. So a friend of mine, right as I put Making Connections, right the day before, I talked to a friend of mine on the phone, and she was like, Susan, she's like, I saw you put so much time and energy and love, and like, for me, I never thought, oh my God, this book is going to be ugly, it's going to be horrible. I was always like, oh my God, this is going to be great, I'm going to love it. I put vibrancy into it. And she's like, there's no way when you embed that much vibrancy into your work, there's no way that it's not going to go anywhere, So when I put that book out, it went, it was very, very popular, very, very popular. Interweave picked it up, and they hardly even made money from it, but they're like, we want these type of books because this is where we're going. So you are revealing yourself. Yes, okay, every piece I sell, you're scared, but you do it. And every time you do it, every time you sell a piece, you get closer and closer. And pretty soon, selling your pieces are gonna be nothing. That's gonna be nothing. And then you're gonna move on to something else that's scary, because we always want to grow. So, then you're going to build crazier pieces in there, and so every piece, and if you're not scared, that means you're really putting your authenticity into it. So I love that. That makes me happy, and it makes the world happy. Anytime you're closer to your authenticity, you are putting a positive contribution into the world. Make sense? That's kind of where I'm at now. Yes, you're revealing yourself in your work. Yes, yes, yes. So, anytime that you're making decisions, and I think for me, I've done this work. Oh my gosh, I've been a jeweler 30 years, an artist and a jeweler, and for so long. I was going to tell the story about how I get started, but what time even is it? I'll tell you guys how I get started. You guys want to hear? So it really all is about that. So you guys know every step you take, don't worry about pushing things. The crazier my work gets, the less I feel I have to explain myself, because it's just you. Yes, it's just you. And the people that come to see your work, they're so grateful that you are just putting out, Joanna's on the phone. On my phone it popped up. Okay, she just got some gems. So, yeah, so you know what, this will be really, for me, it's like when I think about building, different pieces, I'm building, wouldn't this be fun? Like, what a talisman is this? This is just, one of the pieces coming up. But you guys have seen my buckets before, but they're just little hollow silver forms. To me, it's like, how amazing that, this to me means abundance. These pieces are for abundance, because you can fill these up with anything. It'd be beautiful to put a flower in there in the summertime and wear these in your earrings. Just the bud of a nice flower. And if they fall out, whatever, But to me, actually, I think I'm gonna have these photographed with the flower in there, because I think it'd be gorgeous. Can you imagine like a nice red flower? Remember, I'm in reds. So, things like that. Tassels. I'm like, should I do tassels? I don't know. It's really, tassels is fiber, and it's not as permanent in jewelry. That's why you don't see feathers and fiber necessarily in jewelry, because they don't last as long as the metal. And jewelers are always like, what happens when your fiber gets to be nothing, But you actually can wash your fibers by hand. You just treat it like fiber. If you're used to adornment, like I'm used to adornment, you treat your adornment for what it is. If it sticks, sticks, to me, it's just as permanent as wood carvings. These are sealed and oiled, and they have wraps on them, and have gems in there, and they're going to be just as permanent as a piece of wood, So like when you're thinking about things like that, oh my God, you're Christina, you are so funny. I know, because what am I, when I first started with these pencil pieces, I have to bring the pencil pieces back, because come on, I didn't know when I built that pencil necklace, I didn't know. I thought I was a crazy person building it. I didn't know that forever I was going to be known as the pencil stub lady in the museums, after it went on a museum tour. Isn't that funny? But this one, I wanted to put on here again because one, oh my gosh, I love yellow. And if it does come out, whatever, you can stick anything in there that you want to. These pencils, I have a very small collection of pencils that are left that actually, oh my gosh, someone was so sweet years ago. Someone came up and her mother was a journalist in the 60s. And she had, been all over, she was an international journalist, went all over the world, used pencil and paper, and gave me a beautiful handful of all these different colors. So for me, I'm like, I really want to do these justice before they go out the door, and they're nice and long, and they sit on your shoulders, and you know what? When you move them back and forth, you might draw a picture on your white shirt, because as you guys know, I always talk about, I'm wearing a t-shirt here, so, it's like just kind of building for fun, for style, for, these are just kind of fringe. Okay, so So that's kind of, some things that are coming up that you guys will see. I have a lot of pieces here that I'm building. I'm actually building, because this is something, you guys know, this is the yoga breath. This is a lot of different things, but this is a piece that I'm really kind of excited about because it's that chapter 1 of the course with hollow forms, with granulation, and this one is nice and simple. Come on, guys. Why can't we wear a simple piece once in a while, right, guys? Shouldn't we wear a simple piece once in a while? So this one is really, it's a red, and it's really meant to hit almost on your red, almost on your red chakra. So for me, that's the kind of things that I think about when I'm building. And it's going to be really fun. I'm really excited about this event. I've got some cool fossil rings and all kinds of stuff coming up on the store. So if nothing else, I think there's going to be some of the film and some of the, you guys can take a look at it. Build your own authentically. I'm trying to build my Shopify authentically for what I think really works for me. Does that make sense? Layering. Late, but finally made it live. Yay! Yeah, so that's all coming up. So tomorrow I'm going to be on Alchemy of Soldering. And you guys are welcome to, this is with Mac. You guys know Mac Who again? I did a big piece and I wanted to build a small one so I could look at it. When you're wearing a necklace, you can't see it as much, but these I like to wear. So there's the stackers. The second part of it will be on. The first part, I really wanted to show how to just build these when you can't have a seam, There's a lot of these rings that I wear that I don't want a seam on here. So, I really kind of show how to put things up, and that's on the Alchemy of Soldering. And I'll be on there tomorrow answering questions. Aw, thank you. But there's a lot more. There's some really, oh my gosh, the earrings that I have, these will be on there. But I'm wearing them out and putting my vibes in there, clean them with alcohol and stick them in. The thing I love, I used to do jackets that I showed you guys in my, when I did my studio tour. When I lived on the north side of Chicago, I did, from ethnographic fabric that I collected all over the world. I would do these jackets with silk lining. And I realized really quickly that you can't wear a jacket and then sell it. They pick up, I had to dry clean it in between. They pick up smells, they pick up anything. With jewelry, you can wear it and then let it go, and it has a great vibration. Oh, so there's Christina. She's going to send 15-minute reminders for my live. So I'll be on there tomorrow. If you guys have any tool questions, jewelry questions, show up. I'm just really going to talk more on the technical end of things, but that'll be inside the AOS group. And oh my gosh, so yeah, it's the first time that I'm really offering the course in pieces and parts. If you guys haven't, you can take the whole course, or you can take it in pieces and parts if you haven't taken it yet. And also, thank you. This is another piece, guys. I was afraid when I bought this piece. I was in Paris, and I was like, I'm gonna buy this, and I'm either gonna hate it or love it. And you know how that feels when you spend some time on things. This is practically worn to a shred. But I love it because I love jewelry. And look at this. Look at this. Right? Right, guys? Is that the best or what? I need to take a picture and put this out here. So yeah, it's like for me, nothing better than looking at a beautiful ring than looking at a beautiful sleeve with a beautiful ring with a stack of bracelets. Right, guys? I can see it all myself. So yeah, this one I ended up wearing all the time, and I still have it. It's made it through so many cycles in my life, so that's interesting. So soon, you guys, after Christine and I were really working hard on some of these, of what's going on now, and I'm working on my Milan line. Everything's going to kind of settle down after the 20th of February, and then Christina and I say me, but Christina and I, oh my God, she's amazing. I couldn't do without her. Thank you. Then I'm working on getting together. I'm going to have like a course that's for more advanced or for creativity or for, that we can get in. You can watch tomorrow's, it'll be recorded. So just get into AOS. You can watch tomorrow's class anytime. If you have any questions, just email Christina ahead of time or email at support@Susan Lennart, and I'll try to get to those questions too. So if you guys have a question and can't be there, Oh, I know. Don't we love Christina? Take a bow, Christina. Take a bow. She actually has her business course going now, and I know I've heard so many good things about it. I've been wanting just to pop on just to say hi, but we're just too busy right now, right? So thank you for coming on to mine because she helps me. So that's it. So if you guys don't know Christina, we actually have, her and I did a few months ago. Yeah, it was a few months ago. We did this. It was a whole marketing course, and I did like right side of the brain as a visionary marketing, and then search inside the group for the video. So Christina did a marketing course, and I think that's going to be coming up too. We're going to just play the recorded version, but she gave, like, Christina's in marketing and she studies marketing, and that's what she does. You know, it's more the left side of marketing. I do the right side of marketing, feeling out, you know, in my artist way that I do things, you know. So we have a balance of us, and we just talk about our points of view in there. So that'll be coming up too during these next couple weeks. Make sense? All right, you guys. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for showing up again. I love my Thursdays. I feel so good just hearing what you guys have to say and all of this. So I think we are going to call it. I'm always like, all right, today we have to make it 30 minutes so people can want to watch this, you know. So, all right, do we have anything else to say, Christina? Feel free to message her if you want access to the workshop. Okay, so, yep, there's the question. This will be on there, so make sense, you guys? Oh, love you. Mwah. Thank you so much, you guys. Enjoy your day. Get in your studio. Be yourself. Clear. And I'll have that meditation on there soon if you're looking for it. Build your jewelry. Bye, guys.